Hello everyone and welcome to a new tutorial for LottieFiles. My name is Dan and today I have something really exciting. I'm gonna show you how you can add Lottie animations into 3D elements. Yes, you hear me right. Lottie animations into 3D. So for this, we'll be using Vectary. Vectary, it's an amazing 3D tool. And they have a new feature where you can change the texture of a 3D element with a Lottie animation. This is crazy and it's going to blow your mind. For this, we'll be using different tools. I'm going to show you how we can export your different assets from Figma to Vectary. Then also, we will share with you the After Effects files where we have all the Lottie animations that we will use inside Vectary. Then, as you can see, we have some 3D elements, and for that, we will be using the Iconscout library. Finally, as you can see, once we'll be happy with our 3D art, we'll take the Embed code of Vectary and we will implement it inside a Webflow page. So, are you guys ready? Let's begin. Okay, cool. So let's start in Figma. So as you can see, I already divide the different assets. We have the iPhone bezel, we have the home screen, we also have the small cards and also the big ones. And I just leave this here for reference. So as you can see, we have the big one, and so I don't forget which animation will come for this, and for this. The idea will be to have a similar art like this, but inside Vectary. So the final version of it will be something like this. Okay, cool. So I already did the heavy lifting and we already have, all the different assets inside the SVG folder. And if you will download our exercise folder, you will see that we have the Lottie animations over here. We have the SVGs. We also have the Figma file and also the After Effects file. So just quick note, in After Effects, we create some very, very simple animations with the art. And if you like it, yeah, probably we can make some tutorials about how to create these animations and even, how to create this art inside Figma. So please let me know in the comments and we'll be back to you. So right here, we already have the Lotties that they are exported in a JSON format, from the big cards and also from the small cards. We have the SVGs over here. And what we will do is to come to Vectary. So in Vectary, you need to create an account. And after you create the account, just click over here so you can create a new project. And over there, we will be using the SVG folder. So now that we have all the different SVG elements, the only thing we need to do is to drag and drop. So going back to Vectary, as you can see, they are asking us if we would like to use the new version of it. And we will say, of course, because this is the best version of Vectary. And at the beginning, you have different templates. But in our case, we will start from scratch. Okay, so as you can see, we have a blank canvas. And the only thing we need to do now is to drag and drop all the different SVGs. Yeah, this will take just a little bit. But as you can see over here, it's telling you how many SVGs are already loading. So right now we have 8 of 8. So just let's wait for a while and I will just fast forward this part. Okay, cool. So now that you have all your different elements imported to Vectary, the first thing we will do is to resize them, probably to the half of it. So as you can see, we have some small cubes over here. So make sure to select any of them and just drag in. So the idea will be to have the half of the size, probably like this. We don't have an indicator, but for this, we can select any of them. And as you can see, originally we have 1 over here, but what we are trying to reach is 0.5. So again, we are very close. Let's select all of them and probably just a little bit more, maybe something like this. Okay, good. Now that we have this, we need to change the angle. So for this case, make sure to select this red circle and also make sure to select all the different elements. And we'll bring this up. Okay, there you go. Then also select the blue arrow and put it up. Yeah, above the plane over here. I would just zoom out a little bit. So as you can see, we have our screen now. Yeah, and it has a really cool perspective. Okay, great. So now what we need to do is to organize the different elements. So I will make sure to put the bezel in the bottom, and before the bezel we'll put the home screen, so we have mobile over here. Then also we can organize the different cards. So we have the 3 big cards. This also is part of the big ones. And then we have the 3 small ones. Okay, great. So in the small ones, if we select, the 3 of them, we just can put them to the bottom. Probably bring it to the front a little bit, like this. Put it up. And I would just zoom in. And maybe, organize them like this. Okay, great. Maybe I would change this for this. Okay, there you go. And also, for the big ones, what we'll do is to select any of them. So for example, this one, I would just put it over here. And this other one right here. Okay, great. So as you can see, we have the organization, and we can give them some thickness. So right now the plane, it looks really flat. So let's select all of them, and we can put the extrude to 10. So this actually will increase the thickness of each one of the elements. So if we take a look, yeah, as you can see over here. But maybe for the home screen and also for the iPhone, we can put it to 30. So it can actually simulate that it's an iPhone. There you go. Yeah, now you can see that thickness. So to not hide the rest of the elements, let's select all of them except for the mobile and also the bezel. And let's bring them to the front. There you go. And as you can see, we have the shadows now. Also, we can select, individually each one of the elements. So for example, in this case, this card in the middle, I can put it, a little bit on the front like this, maybe a little bit up, something like this. And this other one, put it right here. And this other one, let me check here. I can bring it, maybe this here, and this other one here. And maybe a little bit up. There you go. Yeah, now it's looking really nice. And if you use the spacebar key, yeah, you can navigate like this too. Okay, cool. And the same thing we can do for the small cards. So for example, for the small cards, I can select this one, put it over here, and maybe bring it to the front a little bit. The orange one, bring it back maybe here, down a little bit. Over here, just right here. And this other one, we can place it over here. There you go. And the 3 of them, probably a little bit more in the bottom. Okay, cool. Okay, this is looking really good. Now, what we need to do is actually, to transform them into geometry or planes. So why we are doing this? If you're coming from Figma and this is your first, 3D tool, so welcome to the 3D world. This is really exciting. So right now, imagine that we have, each one of the assets. So this is actually a group. But if you would like to access individual assets, like for example, the profile or the text or the button, so you actually need to convert them to geometry. This is super simple, very easy. Just double click over here or hit convert to plane. Once you will do that, you will access to the text and also to the different assets over here. So yeah, this is very, very simple. But there is just one thing, probably a small warning. Once you will do that, you cannot go back to here. So what does it mean? That probably, the extrude and some other different, features that you have from an SVG object, it won't be available. So make sure to first, use all these different features over here. And once you're 100% sure, so that's when you move and convert them, to a geometry. So for that, I will do something else that I would like to show you. I will create a duplicate for each one of the cards, the big ones. And the reason for that is this. I was testing, and when I convert them to geometry and I add the Lottie animation, I see like the animation, is a little different from the original version of it. So the width is a little bit stretched, so it doesn't look good. But for that, I find a workaround, and I actually use convert to plane. But then I tested and I said like, okay, once I convert to plane, what happened is that the other elements inside the card, like the title, the avatar, the name, and the bottom, they disappear. So actually, I need to have the best thing of both worlds. And for that, yeah, very, very easy solution is just to duplicate each one of the cards. So one of the cards will convert to geometry using just double click, and the other card will convert also to geometry, but using this button, convert to plane. So that is the easy way to do it. But I will just come back to these cards. First, let's start with the small ones. What I will do now is, for example, this. I will start with the small one. I will just double click over here, and it says like you want to convert to geometry, and you say bake, which is yes. And as you can see, inside this small card, we have all these different elements, which are all good. And if you notice this like small difference, this, it was supposed to be like rounded corner, but because of the art, I think the SVG interpreted like in a different way. So that's why you have, like point corners. But don't worry about it, because once, for example, we will delete the art. So for example, if I come here to the small card and I make sure which is the art. So in this case, I think it's this one. So if I hide, no, this is the card actually. So let me try another thing. This is the art, this group. So in this case, what I will do is to select this group and just to delete it. Boom. We have, the blank card, but with rounded corners. Yeah, this is really good. So we need to do the same thing for this. So let me just fast forward this part. Okay, cool. So now we have, our small cards ready to add any Lottie animation. And for that, I will show you how we do it. So just select any of them. In this case, we can start with this one. And over here in color, we'll change its texture. So for example, right now we are using some colors. It's solid. But if you click on solid, you can select animation. So in animation, you can select, Lottie animation. You can also add or paste the link of your Lottie animation. So if you would like to copy anything from the Lottie library, just can select this one and then move it to the Vectary. In this case, I will show you, how to upload it. So as you can see, we click over here and we can select this one, for example. So this is a JSON file, and there you go. And if you want to make sure that it's working, so just hit on preview, and there you go. This is so cool. As you can see, very simple, very cool, all 3D. So we'll click on exit preview. We'll come back here, and the same thing, over here, come to color, go to animation, select over here. And in this case, yeah, we can choose the orange one. There you go. Oh, it says purple, so maybe let me select the purple here. There you go. And this one, the orange. Cool. Okay, nice. So now we need to do the same thing, for the rest of them. So yeah, for the bezel and also for the home screen, actually, it's very simple. We just select them and we won't add any Lottie, but we would just want to convert them to geometry. The same thing, for the home screen. So over here, I select it and hit bake. So now we have all the different elements. Okay, that's really cool. And now we need to do this for the big cards. So I will hit the spacebar key. Remember, this will give us another type of navigation. I will zoom out. And again, this is what I was telling you. Like, we'll select this card and hit convert to plane, which actually is the same. But, if I would just move this a little bit here, as you can see, we don't have, the buttons or the avatar. So we are losing this. But the good thing is, like, when you go to this method, when you will add the load animation, just let me try it out here. So, over here, I will select animation, upload Lottie. Please, this is just an example. Don't follow me, just to show you. So in this case, I will select, let's say, this one. As you can see, the Lottie is exactly as the original, version and the size. So I would just do Command Z. Okay, perfect. But what if, we convert this? In this case, we'll convert this one, just double clicking. So we convert this with double clicking. We hit bake. And in this case, this is our rectangle. So I would just, please also don't follow me. I would just show you this as an example. So you can see the difference. So we select this one. Sorry, this is the one. You will see that for some reason, the image is a little bit stretched. So that's why we duplicate, this layer, and that's why we are creating two different things. So since we don't want to have this issue over here, I would just delete this part. Boom, there you go. And I can put this card inside over here. So we can keep everything organized. And now inside this card, is where I will add my animation. Sorry, this one. There you go. So like that, we keep all the different elements, plus, we have the right size of the animation. And we will do the same thing, for the other cards. So I would just fast forward this part. So, okay, what I will do is to put this plane inside here, and I would just delete the first rectangle. And the same thing for here, if I will open this, I will select this over here, put it inside the folder, and delete the first rectangle. There you go. So now what we need to do is, for example, we can open this card and select this over here, and we can add the load animation. So again, select animation, and we'll select over here this one. Hit open. There you go. And for the other one, the same thing. Animation, and then the green version. Cool. And if we would like to preview, we hit preview, and there you go. So this is crazy because, all the different things that you can add using load animations to your mockups are infinite. Imagine that you are doing like a mockup of a smartwatch, or, probably you can even use textures, So there are many, many different options where you can use load animations inside 3D. Okay, let's go back to Vectary. And over here, we still need to do some work. As you can see, every time that, I'm just navigating here, for some reason, over here, the bottom, it has like, some white lines, and also on the text and on the avatar. And I realized that that's because the bottom is almost in the same level. Actually, it's not almost, but it is in the same level of, this white card. So for that, this is a very simple fix. And what I will do is over here, you just need to put it, a little bit in front, so these white lines will disappear. So for example, I will make sure to select this one, this is the bottom here. So I select this one and then I will just put it over here. So as you can see now, it disappeared. That's really cool. And I will do the same thing, for example, for the text inside the button. So I'll put it a little in front like this. And the same thing, for example, for the avatar. Put it like this a little bit. And of course, for the title and also the name, we can select both of them. Put it like this, just a little bit. So you can see we don't have that problem anymore. And if we would like to have another cool perspective of this part, so just put it here. So this is looking really, really nice. And the same thing, for each one of the cards. So again, you can come to any of the cards, for example, this one, and I will play with this also. Yeah, something like this. And I will select the pad, the circle, the three of these three elements. And also over here, something like this. Okay, so I will do the fixes, for also the home screen and this other card. So I will just fast forward this part. Yeah, okay, so for this part, I'm selecting the tab bar over here and all the different icons, and I would just move it to the front. So you can see over here, probably put it around here. I think that will look really cool. And I will zoom in a little bit. Then I can put, this element a little bit to the front, maybe like this. And then I will select all the different icons and also move it to the front just a little. Cool. So now, as you can see, everything is looking really, really nice. And if we check in preview, we don't have that issue of the white lines anymore. Okay, this is really great. Okay, let's go back to Vectary. So going back to here, as you can see, we still can add some different elements. So the first thing we will do is to come here and add a plane. Yeah. And again, make the plane big. So make sure to select these small cubes. There you go. We can make it bigger. There you go. And this actually will help us to create, like a fake floor. So we can have this kind of effect. So we'll select, a 3D element that is more like, drawn in the sand or something like that. So we are trying to give this cool effect. So let's go back to Vectary, and this will be helpful for that. And also, over here, as you can see, we can give a color to the background. So we will give a color to the background and also another color to the plane. So in this case, maybe let's start with the plane over here, and I'll select the color, and I already prepared a color for it. So we'll use this hexadecimal color 6A08 FC. There you go. And for the background over here, make sure that you're not selecting any element. Just click over here, and for the background, put this other color, 5805 FF. There you go. So yeah, it has some cool contrast. Or even, if you like, you just can select over here and probably put the same color. So I will leave it up to you guys, whatever you want. So now, we're just using the same color also for the background and also for the plane. And as you can see, it's already taking some shape. So we need something else. Let's add some light. So in this case, come over here and we can click, to add the light. So the light right now is coming, from the top, but we don't want that. Actually, what we need is to reflect, the model that we have over here. So I would just put it over here and turn it. There you go. So we have the light over there. Probably we cannot see it, so well, but once we'll have the models, I will show you how it looks with the reflection. Okay, great. There you go. So now we can go to Iconscout. So in Iconscout, you'll find that there's a big collection of 3D illustrations. So over here to filter, just click over here, select 3D illustrations, and then search for abstract. There you go. And you have so many different elements, some really cool stuff that you can add over here. So for example, if we browse a little bit, we'll find some really, really cool stuff, maybe something like this. You can click here, and in this case, we don't have the OBJ file, so it's okay. We can select the Blender file, download it. There you go. And in the meantime, we can look for some other elements, like for example, this one. This looks cool. Also the blend file, no problem. Yeah, these kind of elements are really cool. For example, we can use this one. So again, here. And also, there you go. This is a really cool one. Yeah, this is super nice. I think we have enough elements. And of course, for example, you would like to use these spheres, so we can hit over here. And in this case, we have the OBJ file, so also we can download it. Okay, nice. So once we'll have all the different elements download, what we will do is to add them. And the way to add them is very simple. So for example, for the OBJ file, the only thing we need to do is to drag and drop it. So I will select this, and I will just drag and drop it. Yeah, we'll have some warning pop-up. It's telling us that it has, many polygons, so don't worry about it. We just click continue anyway. And the next thing it will tell us is like, hey, you want to keep the original size of the element, or you would like to fit to the object. So what is the object right now? The iPhone that we have over here. So it's better to put it fit the object, because sometimes, it's really bigger, and yeah, it kind of mess, of the view angle that you have, or sometimes it's really smaller. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. So just hit fit object, and there you go. You have these elements, so you just can, make it bigger. Make sure to select the small cubes over here. Put it maybe around here. And the nice thing in Vectary is that actually understands, really well all these different elements. So what I will do is to select each one of the spheres and maybe place them, some different places so they can look really, really cool. Yeah, something like this. As you can see, we're starting to have some really cool stuff. For example, even this one, we can make it probably smaller. Put it over here. There you go. So we can start placing all the different elements, in our component. And of course, we can also give them, some color. So for example, this one, I can give, actually to all of them, we can give the same color that we are using, in the background. And I would like that you can put attention to something over here. So for example, if we select this one, you will see that over here we have a reflection, and this reflection is from this light. So as you can see over here, this white rectangle is actually the light. So this is giving like a really cool effect. So I would just fast forward this part, I would just give the color to each one of the spheres. Okay, great. So as you can see, now we have, many cool elements over here. So now we can also add the different 3D elements that we download, that they are in Blender. For that, the only thing I will do is to open them. So I will open my first element. And of course, for this, you need to have, Blender installed in your computer. Well, it's very simple. Select the element, double click, open it, and over here, go to File, then go to Export, and in Export, make sure to export it in OBJ. So select OBJ, and over here we just can put it, export. There you go. And we can do the same for the rest of the elements. So I would just also fast forward this part. Okay, great. Now that we have all our elements in OBJ, so let's go to our folder file over here. And as you can see, we have all these OBJ elements. So I would just, drag and drop them. So over here, you can put this one. And yeah. Over here again, fit to the object. There you go. And for some reason, it exported with this weird element over here. So I don't know why, but let me check this. So I just want to make sure to have the right element. So okay, what about this one? Okay, so this is our right element over here, so we don't need the rest of them. I will select the rest of them, double click, and the only thing we need is this one. So, but you can see like, the main point, the anchor points in another way. So just double click here and it will be in the element. So right now, I would just zoom out. Let me select this one again. Just make it bigger. Just can put this element over here. Yeah, we can make this like, like flying, or give some other sensation like this. Probably we can add some other colors. Yeah, maybe something like this. Okay, this is looking really cool. And now, also let's do the same thing for the rest of them. So I would just fast forward this part. Okay, so for this one, we can place it on the background and we can simulate like, an infinite door or something like that. Super cool. Yeah, something like this. But as you can see, we have, multiple spheres, but probably we can get rid of some of them. So for example, this one, I think we don't need that. Yeah, let me just double click here. So yeah, we can delete this one and we'll replace for this other model here. There you go. Also, you know, the sphere here on the back, we don't need it, so we can delete it. Maybe this sphere also. Goodbye. And probably we can keep everything, you know, in purple. I think I like it more. So, you know, let me select this one. I will put it up a little bit and maybe keep the same purple. So we keep it simple. And for this other one, you know, here the big cube, we can also use purple. There you go. And as you can see, we also have the reflection of the light. And yeah, we can do the same thing for the spiral here. Use this purple. And for this other one, let me check. This one, also we can use purple. There you go. So now it's looking really, really cool. Probably, you know, this big sphere, we can move it a little bit to the right. So let me select this one up here. So there you go. We are almost done. So as you can see, you know, we can also fix a little bit the view angle over here. And for that, we can use a camera. So there you go. You can click on camera. There you go. And if I zoom out a little bit, you will see our cool camera here. And this camera will be pointing all the time to this angle. And if you would like to change the angle, so right now, you know, you can click camera view and you will see that what the camera is looking. But if you would like the camera can look this way, so this will be your camera view. So whatever, you know, the angle you will position your port view, the last angle you'll position your port view, that will be the camera view. So if you hit exit camera, we'll come here. If you want to come back to camera view, there you go. So I think this is looking really cool. You know, maybe like this. Also move it a little bit here. So yeah, this is looking amazing. And now let's say like you would like to use this as part of your Figma file or your design, you know, just hit over here and you will download and actually take like a sort of a screenshot of what you have over here. So click here and this will download in your download file. And now you can come back, you know, to your Figma file. And for this, you know, I would just duplicate this one over here, you know, and I can delete what we have over here. And now the only thing I will do is to drag and drop my new art. So press K, you know, resize it, something like this. There you go, beautiful. Put it to the back, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, exactly. Something like this. So I mean, you know, there are many uses of what you can do inside Vectary. And this is really, really cool. And the last thing, you know, you can also use this 3D model and actually, you know, put it as embed code in any other platform. So you can use it in Notion, you can use it in WordPress, Wix, you name it. In our case, we'll use Webflow. So for example, we'll hit first preview, and this is how actually you will see. So if you compare, you know, the preview versus what you have in the viewport, it's almost the same. So this is really cool. And, you know, kudos to the Vectary team. They are doing an amazing job. So right now, how we can add this to Webflow? So in Webflow, I already prepared, you know, a page inside my website for the Vectary exercise. So for example, as you can see, We have like different containers, you know, divs, etc. But here is the important thing. We are adding an embed code. And for that, it's super simple, you know, just come here to the plus icon, and then, you know, over here, just look for select and just look for embed. You hit this and you can add any code over here. But let's go back over here and I would just replace it. So I will select the embed code, you know, hit on the gear, and over here is where I need to paste the code that Vectary will give me. So for example, you know, next to preview, we have share. And over here, you can select share to web. We will do that. And also, you know, anyone with the link can clone. So of course, we'll do that. And I will also add this link in the description. And now we can copy the embed code. There you go. We copy it. And let's go back to Webflow. And I would just replace, no, wait a second. You know, I would just put it here because I want to show you some small things that you need to edit on the code. So for example, we have the iframe over here. So it's telling you, you know, the link, what you have here, everything is good except for the height. So right now we have 480, and what you actually need to put is 100%. So it also can take the full height. So that's the only thing you need to change actually. And after that, you're ready to go. So I would just, you know, delete this one, put it over here, and I will hit save and close. And this will take some time. There you go. So now this is live, you know, this is working. This looks beautiful. And just to put it over here, hit on publish, publish. And yeah, this is pretty amazing. I mean, all the different things that you can do between Figma, After Effects, Vectary, and using, you know, libraries like LottieFiles, Iconscout, and then put it in platforms like Webflow, Wix, Squarespace, you name it. So the possibilities are infinite. And this is something that, yeah, we created probably, I don't know, in 20, 30 minutes. But probably before, you know, before Vectary, this is something that it took like a lot more of time. And not only one person was, you know, able to do these kind of things. Probably you will have a team of people that were working on that. So right now this is available, you know, go crazy with the new 3D assets. You know, feel free to download. I think Iconscout offers, you know, from time to time a free asset. And also, you know, you can create more Lotties, add it to your 3D elements, and enjoy it. So that's it for today. I really hope you like it. And if you have any comments or questions, please let us know in the comment section. And if you like the video, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Bye.